Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Friday, 12th of May 2023. This day is celebrated as International Nurses Day. It is an International Nurses Day, Shadows Day, National Unity Fudge Day, National Public Gardeners Day. 12 May in Indian history is also celebrated as the birth anniversary of the following personalities, including the most important Katharine Hepburn. 12 May 1907 and 29 June 2003. This is a birth and death anniversary. Indomitable American stage and film actress known as the spirited performers with the touch of eccentricity. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that students outfits IIT aspirants knock at Dharmendra Pradhan's doors for reopening JEE Advanced application window. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. The Hindu newspaper also states that post SC verdict all eyes on Maharashtra Speaker Narvekar. Maharashtra Assembly Speaker Rahul Narvekar with the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. The Hindu newspaper also states that ICMR and Ayush to work together to boost Ayurveda's identity based on scientific evidence, Health Minister says. Union Minister of Health Mansukh Mandviya and Union Minister for Ayush Sarbanananda Sonowal witnesses the signing of the Ministry of Union between ICMR and the Ministry of Ayush in New Delhi on May 11, 2023. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that if India wants to a neutral venue for Asia Cup, we want the same for the World Cup. PCB chief Najam Sethi says the Asia Cup can be staged in a hybrid model, which he has also proposes for the World Cup to be hosted in India. In an exclusive interview with the Sandeep Dividevi, he also raises a question over Ahmedabad as possible venue for India-Pakistan World Cup game. PCB chief Najam Sethi says the Asia Cup can be staggered in a hybrid model, which he also proposes for the World Cup to be hosted in India. Indian Express also states that World Health Organization declares end to monkeypox public health emergency. The organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern in July 2022 and backed its stand in November and February. More than 87,000 monkeypox cases have been confirmed globally from the beginning of 2022 through May 8 this year, according to the World Health Organization's latest report. Indian Express also states that sexual harassment panels NHRC notice to sports bodies ministry, giving the federation 4 weeks to submit detailed reports. The NHRC has said non-compliance of the POSH law was a matter of concern which could impact the legal right and dignity of the sports person. Wrestler Vinish Phogat, Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik sting on Dharna against Wrestling Federation in New Delhi. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that hearing on the same-sex union players concludes Supreme Court reserves order. Following a marathon hearing that lasted 10 days of intense argument from both sides, the Supreme Court on Thursday reserved its verdict on petitions demanding the legal recognition of the same-sex marriages in India. The Supreme Court. Indian Express, Hindustan Times also states that will raise efforts to counter spam calls WhatsApp. Government seeks probe. The Union government on Thursday said it will send a notice to the messaging and calling service WhatsApp to look into the growing menace of international spam calls, terming it as misuse and breach of users' privacy. The Union government said it will send notes to WhatsApp to look into the growing menace of international spam calls. Hindustan Times also states that felt triggered and hurt why Uddhav chose to resign before facing floor test. The first indication that Uddhav Thackeray, Maharashtra's 19th Chief Minister, was thinking of quitting came on June 22, or 2 days after several Shiv Sena MLAs had cross-voted in the Legislative Council elections in Mumbai and then fled to Surat in the dark of the night. Uddhav Thackeray submitted his resignation from the post of CM to then Governor Bhagat Singh Koshoria on June 29, 2022. Going towards the economy of the country, India's next decade growth will be around energy transition, green tech, renewables, says SAP's Paul Marriott. Asian markets overall, especially Southeast Asia, are still very resilient, according to the Paul Marriott, President SAP Asia Pacific. G7 finance ministers to meet in Japan to tackle global economic challenges. Italy's finance minister Giancarlo Giorgetti right talks with the governor of the Bank of Italy, Ignazio Visco, second right before the start of the G7 finance minister and the central bank governors meeting at the Tokyo Messi Convention Center in Niigata, Japan on 11 May 2023. Finance Ministry waives duty and agree cess on crude, soybean, sunflower oil imports. Worker works at top of tanker wagon at an oil terminal on the outskirts of Kolkata on November 27, 2013. The Finance Ministry has exempted imports of crude, soybean, and sunflower oil from basic customs duty and agriculture infrastructure and development cess till June 30, subject to certain conditions. Here is an image. Going towards the world news, including Israel kills 2 militant commanders in Gaza as Egypt presses on with efforts to mediate trust. World Health Organization declares end to monkeypox public health emergency. Japan public reluctant to defend Taiwan should China invade. Amsterdam bans fast delivery grocery hubs from residential areas when explodes in central Milan, injuring one, sending dark smoke over city. Ukraine says it routs Russian brigade. Kremlin acknowledges a very difficult campaign. Going towards the science and technology, 11 sites identified for the survey under Deep Ocean Mission Project Jitendra Singh. India has identified 11 potential sites for exploration of hydrogen sulfide and a dedicated multipurpose vessel for the being acquired to carry out detailed surveys as the part of the Deep Ocean Mission. World Health Organization declares end to monkeypox once again public health emergency. The World Health Organization building in Geneva. Green hydrogen bunkering or refueling facilities to be set up at all major ports by 2035. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways stressed that all ports shall make efforts to achieve the target of renewable energy as envisaged in Maritime India Vision. Prehistoric humans came from China to the Americas in 2 waves. Some of the first arrivals came from the China during 2 district migrations. At last, there's a famous quotation by a famous Indian scientist, Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman, whose birth anniversary is 7 November 1888 up to the 21st November 1970, was an Indian physicist known for his work in the field of light of scattering using a spectrograph that he developed. He and his student K.S. Krishnan discovered that when light traverses a transparent material, the reflected light changes in its wavelength and frequency. This phenomenon heteroto unknown type of scattering of light, which they call a modified scattering, was subsequently termed as the Raman effect or Raman scattering. Raman received the 1930 Nobel Prize in Physics for the discovery of for the discovery and was the first Asian to receive Nobel Prize in any branch of science. Mr. Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman says a famous quotation. He says that ask the right questions and nature will open the doors to her secrets. Okay, thank you.